Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. The topic for discussion for this morning will be on sincerity is the key of the divine doors. That is the topic of discussion on sincerity. The topic will be like this: sincerity is the key of the divine doors. So, in integral yogic process, who are pursuing this method and who are treading this path, they must be aware that divine is the beginning, divine is the objective, divine is the goal. It is the aim. At the beginning only divine, in the middle there is divine, and in the end there is divine. Nothing, only divine, nothing but the divine counts in the yogic process. And suppose this divine door is there, it has to open, and once this divine door is opening, you can rush into this into the divine, and you will approach the divine. But thing is that how the gate will be closed, and now it is however closed, how it can open? If there is this full closed, it is locked, because the mother has used the term key. When and where there is key, there must be a lock. So it is locked. How will it open? It will open only by a use of the key. That what is that key? Naturally, we must know that is sincerity. Sincerity, nothing but sincerity. Sincerity is the key. To open means it is already closed, and this is locked. To unlock it, to close it, to open it, you need a key, and that is sincerity. Again, mother goes forward. Sincerity means to lift all movements of the being, and to the level of the highest consciousness and realization already attained. Highest level of consciousness and the realization that is already attained. So sincerity means to lift all the movements of the being, all the entire movement of the being to be lifted up to the highest consciousness and the highest realization that is already attained. Again, mother course, sincerity exacts the verification and harmoniously, and well whole being in all the parts and moments around the central divine will. Sincerity exact has been used as a verb here. So sincerity exacts the unification and harmonization. Two things. The major job of sincerity here is to exact what? Unification and harmonization of the whole being, entire being, whole being in all the parts and moments around the central divine will. That is the great thing the mother has quoted. So here, Sri Aurobindo is having also one nice observation. Most of the time we feel and we quote, whatever one wants sincerely and persistently. Two verbs have been used, adverbs. So sincerely and persistently from the divine, and the divine is sure to give. There is a talk we have already seen with the message that was messaged by the mother. All sincere prayers are granted. Each call is answered. So many ways it has been explained. When call is there, naturally and obviously the answer is there. But the precondition is that sincere call. All sincere prayers are granted. Entire prayer, whatever we do, that is granted. But thing is that definitely it will be, there is no guarantee. Most of the time we feel we pray, but there is no guarantee that it has been granted or not. But thing is that when there is a prayer is sincere and almost at best absolutely sincere, it has to be fulfilled. Unsincere prayers are granted. And the second page, mother quotes, each call is answered, but provided there is a sincerity. I can give you one example on sincerity. So Narada felt he is the best disciple, bhakta of the devotee of the Lord Vishnu. So Narayan. He asked, am I the best, or who is someone else is there? Mother quotes, yes, smiles and says, because if Narayan could behold the ego in Narada. He told, no, somebody is there. He is on the earth. Actually, his address is thus and thus. He is an old man. You can go and see. He is actually the best devotee of me. And then Narada was a little bit jealous. He was egoist. He felt, okay, I will see how he is great. In 24 hours, I am a bachelor. Not, I am moving here and there, only reciting the Nama, that Narayan, Narayan. How am I overlooked? How he can be? So let me see. Narad went and found out the address, lost him. It was actually an old man. Narad actually settled there for a couple of days. He was actually hosted by this old man, and anyway, he could be able to know and hosted. So Narad keenly observed what this old man is doing, and finally, to his utter astonishment, he found that only twice. While going to bed, he is pronouncing the word, chanting the word Narayana, and before, after getting up in the early in the morning, he is chanting Narayana. This Narayana is heightened. Is actually still more jealous. How it is? Only two times within 24 hours. He is greater, better, and more dazzled than me. He went, came back and complained to the Lord. Then Lord told you do one thing, you have to do something. Yes, I will do. You take this pot full of oil, you move around the world and come back, and you must remember, you must think that not a drop of the oil is has fallen down on earth. It must be full. Anyway, Narada started, moved around. His concentration was only on the pot full of oil, lest it will fall down, one drop will fall down. Moved around the world and came back. Then happy that I have been succeeded in actually keeping the promise. Narad asked, "Is it done?" Yes, I have done. You are now itself. You feel you are success. Yes, I am success because not a single drop of oil has fallen down. It is full. I have kept my promise. Then curiously, Narayana asks, Narada, how many times you have recited my name? Oh, I have forgotten. My entire concentration was in this pot, lest some a drop of oil will fall down. So I was concentrating on that. I could not be able to recall that your Namo is there. I have to chant it. I have not done anything like this. Narayan smiles. So see, this is Sansar, this great old man is doing. He is busy with a lot of things. His business, his agriculture, his family, his health, so many ways. You have nothing to do. Still, then he has time to recite at least twice my name. But actually, you have nothing to do. You have something here and there. But with only simple task I have given, with to fulfill that task, you have forgotten my name. Just imagine where you are. That's why he is best. So this sincerity, Narad could explain that thing is that I was lacking on the sincerity. That's what Sri Aurobindo tries to explain. Whatever one wants sincerely and persistently, twice, sincerely and persistently from the divine is sure to give. Then Sri Aurobindo goes forward. When one aspires with sincerity, the strength is given that ends by surmounting all difficulties and reaching the goal. When there is aspiration, when someone aspires, there is aspiration, and aspiration with sincerity, that aspiration with sincerity, then what happens, the strength is given, the aspiration with sincerity, if that is there, then somebody aspires with sincerity, then strength is given by the divine. This strength at the end, it surmounts all the difficulties and make you reach the goal. So that strength will help you in surmounting all the difficulties and reaching the goal. From where and how you will get that strength? You have to do two things: aspire with sincerity. Aspiration is a must, and aspiration must be with sincerity. Again, steering the goes one step forward. If you have sincere aspiration, again, if you have sincere aspiration to the spiritual change, change is our goal, not change, the final change. We are moving forward towards transformation and perfection. So, if you have sincere aspiration to spiritual change in your heart and soul, sincere aspiration for a spiritual change in the heart and the soul, then you will find the way and the guide. It is there. You don't have to go here and move here and there. You have to inquire somebody. You have to approach. You have to ask the question. Nothing is required like this. It is bound to come. It is the, you will find the way and the guide. So don't worry. But the thing is that one thing you must have, definitely you must have sincere aspiration for spiritual change. That must be there. Aspiration, not only the aspiration, spiritual aspiration for what? It is for the spiritual change, spiritual, sincere aspiration for spiritual change. Aspiration, not desire. So here mother quote, sincerity is indispensable to the spiritual endeavor. For the spiritual endeavor, here in the course, sincerity is indispensable. There is no other goal. And crookedness a constant obstacle. Whenever and wherever you find some two things. One is sincerity, and on the contrary, on that side, darker side may be crookedness. That creates obstacle. Hurdle is okay, you have to cross. Without hurdle, there is no progress. You have to face the true progress with the hurdles. But it is coming as the obstacle. So it is here we can find still another good message from the mother. Before the eternal consciousness, there is a big one. Before the eternal consciousness, a drop of sincerity has more value than an ocean of pretension and hypocrisy. Normally we live under two things, that is pretension and hypocrisy. We pretend we are hypocrites. But before the eternal consciousness, this hypocrisy and pretension, it is the dark side, and in the dark it is overwhelming. You can find its presence in a big way. But before the eternal consciousness, a drop of sincerity has more value. In another way also, we have seen a drop of practice is better than an ocean of theories, advices, and good resolutions. A practice. So most of the time we can find in this integral yogic process. So here we find, before the eternal consciousness, a drop of sincerity has a more value. Drop of sincerity has a more value than an ocean of pretension and hypocrisy. So you have to follow sincerity, even if it is a very feeble, very minor, very one, even if it is a drop. That has got more value than ocean of pretension and the hypocrisy. Normally we have that hypocrisy, we are hypocrites, we pretend, but actually before the eternal consciousness, it has got absolutely no value. It has got no value. Again, mother quotes, uncompromising sincerity. Sincerity is there most of the time. What we do, we make the compromise. Three things you must not do: comparison, complain, compromise. No, we must not do. So far this sadhana is concerned, so far this integral yogic process is concerned, but normally we do it. But mother quotes, uncompromising sincerity. Sincerity, it is uncompromising sincerity. You have to do it, nothing fixed is there, but you have to do. Okay, today I will do, tomorrow I will see. It is not like this. You have to be sincere in the divine work, because you are from the divine, for the divine, by the divine, through the divine, of the divine, and towards the divine, and finally you belong to the divine. So divine is goal. So there itself you must feel uncompromising sincerity is the surest way to spiritual achievement. So what really we have to do? Uncompromising sincerity, when it is told by the mother, then what really we have to do? Don't pretend, be. Most of the time only we pretend. Now mother quotes, don't pretend, be. Don't promise, act. Only promises, it must be kept, you have to act. Don't dream, realize. That is what. Greatest enemies in this process of sincerity, which comes the greatest enemies? Greatest enemies of a perfect sincerity, uncompromising sincerity, you have heard now. Now it is a perfect sincerity, are the preferences. I have got preferences in my mind, life, vital, physical, anyway, and preconceived ideas. It was there. Preconceived, this is that, it has to happen. Like it, these are the enemies. Obstacles must be overcome, otherwise very difficult. Again, it is be honest towards yourself, no self deception. No self-deception. We cheat ourselves. What about the rest? Be honest towards yourself. Be sincere to the divine. No bargaining in surrender. So be sincere to the divine. No bargaining in the surrender. I surrender. This is my condition. Nothing like this. Be straightforward with the humanity. No, pretense or yeah, so that's what we do. It must not be done. It must not be done. It is not necessary, to wait for others to be. Most of the time, what let others do. I will do. You must not wait for the others to be sincere. In order to become sincere oneself, you must start so that the world will start. If you are waiting that the world will start, then I will go. I will follow it. Then nothing will happen. So, if you want sincerity, if you are not sincere, very next step you are sure to fall back into your, to your fall and break your head. So sincerity, it is your protecting circle. It is your, it will protect. If you are not sincere, you will fall, and naturally, eventually, you will break your head. Sincerity alone is your protection on the spiritual path. That is your protection. Nobody will come forward. There won't be no your parents, teachers, your police, your friends, nobody there. Sincerity is the protection you. Before doing anything, beginning anything, trying anything, doing anything, beginning anything, and trying anything, be sure, be sincere, be sure you are not only sincere but also but have intention of being most sincere, not only sincere but also more sincere, most sincere. That is what is required. And in beginning, mother has quoted, be sincere, always sincere, more and more sincere. If everybody, if honestly you say to the divine, I want only thee, then the divine will arrange everything in such a way that you will be compelled to be sincere. You just say, I belong only to the divine. I want only the divine. Then the alternative, all arrangements will be done by the divine. All division in the being is insincerity. Whenever there is you find division, it is all the way insincerity. Three paths you can find here. One is surrender, second is consecration, third is knowledge. I want nothing but the divine. I only think nothing but the divine. I will do nothing but the divine. I will be nothing but the. I will follow nothing but the divine, none but the divine. And he will, the divine will lead me to me, and I will be in love with it, nothing but the divine. So, for this, all these things, sincere aspiration is necessary, and this sincerity, it will not come in a day. It has to be a practicably. It will be a regular process. Sincerity is indispensable in the spiritual endeavor. The house of the divine is not closed to any. It seems to be closed, but not those who knock sincerely at its gates. Who knock sincerely at the divine gates, it is bound to open. For him, it is no way it is closed. But if you are not sincere, you are not sincerely knocking at the door, your central motive is lacking sincerity, very difficult to progress in the path of sadhana. So you have to, whatever the past stumbles and errors, I was a sinner. I have done so many hours. It is there with me. Don't think about that past falls, stumblings. It has happened. Nothing to lament over the split mill. It has gone. Past is past. It will not come back. So you have to be, your central will must be sincere, and the if you sincerely knock at the divine's door, it is bound to open. It is bound to open if you are sincere, you are positive. So you have to be sincere, forgetting the stumbles and the errors of the past. Mr. Aurobindo is one step ahead, and still he has a glorious and a gorgeous, explanation in him. No sincere aspiration to the divine can fail in the end. In the end, no sincere aspiration to the divine can fail. It is your protecting circle, it will protect, it will give you success. If man is sincere, he will go through, in spite of long delay and overwhelming difficulties. If he is, or someone is centrally sincere, yet there may be many things that have to be changed in him before realization can begin. Anyway, the central motive will be sincerity. It opens the divine door. It is key to the divine door. Vande Mataram.